Huh. You know, as great of a game as this is, it's definitely not known for its inventory management. But that's what brings us to today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Wandered. Wandered is a company based out of Utah that makes the best bags I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not just saying that because I'm being sponsored by them. I've been using their bags. They're legit. Their most famous one is called the Provoke. This is the Provoke Lite, so it's a smaller one. But it can withstand doing the floss, so that's good. They specialize around making camera bags, but it is geared for anyone and for anything. A couple things I really like about this bag right here is this side access pouch that you can reach right into and grab whatever you want on the inside of your bag without opening it all the way up. In addition to that, let's say you are a person that takes a lot of photos and you carry a lot of your camera gear. Flip it around in the front, unfold it from both sides, boom, you've got a table. Now obviously they recommend putting the accessory straps on there to make sure that it's safe when you do that, but it's pretty cool. I for one put my accessory straps on my Duo, which is my personal bag that I use every single day. Not only is it incredibly high quality, it's got everything I possibly could need out of a bag. It's got about 1 billion pockets in it, and you can open it up all the way. Just don't have it full of your gym clothes when you do that. But even though those two bags are legit, my next favorite one is called the Rogue Sling. Now, what is a sling? Well, it's a piece of gear you throw around and sling around the back. It's pretty sweet. This is a 6-liter model. You can buy a laptop carrying case that matches, and that looks nice. But I love that it's got grab handles. You can swing it right around the front, have full access to everything inside your little pouch. Let's see, you've got all your laptop gear in there, you got your mouse, whatever you need. Pretty darn cool. But regardless, let's say you're going to work and you're kind of active, but you still want to take your sling and your laptop and all that stuff. Well, it's got an extra strap right here, where the second you put it in, boom, you're in sports mode. Now that sucker's strapped to you and it ain't gonna fall off no matter what. You can do all the dancing or flexing or dabbing you want. Either way, Wandered is awesome, and one of the best things about their bags is they have a lifetime guarantee. It's lifetime. It's not like, oh hey man, 10 years later it sucks to be you. No, if you have any manufacturing defects after 15 years, they'll replace your bag.
Amazing!
Check them out. It's wandered.com if you're in the US, or eu.wandered.com if you're in Europe or anywhere else. But back to our regularly scheduled program. Hey, you guys know when you film an entire video and talk about the build for about 20 minutes and then realize that the screen wasn't recording? So that happened. Hello again, welcome back to the Heavy Hat. You're here for the most fun Revenant build ever. Okay, I'm gonna make myself sick by doing that. So let's just start with the build. Now, if you are extremely astute, you may be thinking to yourself, this build looks a little bit familiar. And you would be right. It's technically the Quick Herald build, and it's pretty darn fun. So we're going to go over it, though, because there is a key difference here that makes it a little bit more fun for me. Either way, for the build, we've got Invocation, Devastation, and Herald. Over on Invocation, we take Rising Tide, Incensed Response... Incensed? Apparently, incensed means very angry or enraged. Okay. As well as roiling. It does say roiling mists. Thought it said rolling mists. Well, here's another word we get to look up. Roiling. To make turbid or muddy by disturbing the sediment. We're going to be angry and disturbing today. All right, well, that's just Revenant, isn't it? We're just angry and disturbing. And then down in Devastation, we have Battle Scarred, Notoriety, as well as Swift Termination. Then for Herald, we take Core Value. It's always good to strengthen your core. Shared Empowerment, as well as Draconic Echo.
Feel the fury.
Yes, feel the fury. Over here on Equipment, we do something a little bit different than the normal Quick Herald build, and that is simply, we have more Diviner's gear. That way our boon duration is a little bit higher than it normally is for the Quick Herald, and you can relax a little bit more. Because those of you that have played the normal Quick Power Herald know that you plow through all of these and then just kind of pop over to Legendary Assassin stance and sit on Impossible Odds. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go back to Panic Mode. Either way, with this build, you have enough boon duration that, honestly, you can go back and forth if you want. It is more damage. I'm just going to be straightforward. You will have more damage if you switch back and forth between Legendary Assassin stance and Dragon stance and do that. Me personally, though, the reason this is more fun for me is I kind of hang out on Dragon Stance. Dragon Stance does pretty decent damage, as well as if you're not focusing on making sure you're blowing through your abilities like crazy and making sure you're absolutely min-maxing the top DPS you can focus on making sure everyone else around you has quickness. That's important. But then B, you can actually focus on the fight. Because if you're so focused on all the minute things down here that you miss something in the fight and die, well, guess what? Now you're doing 0 DPS. And you're not having fun. The whole point about this is having fun. But for my gear, honestly, you are free to mix and match Berserkers and Diviner's gear to your heart's content to get around 30 to 33% boon duration. You want to go lower, you're going to do more damage. You want to go higher, it's going to be easier. It's up to you. Take 2 swords as well as a staff. For the swords, we have Superior Sigil of Force as well as Superior Sigil of Air. Same thing on the staff, Berserker staff. I forgot to mention, for the gear, we have Superior Rune of the Scholar, which gives you a whole lot of power, ferocity, and DPS. Pretty darn cool. Ultimately, though, when you are chilling in Dragon Stance right here, there's a couple things you want to know. A, you want to keep Faucet of Nature. Facet? Faucet? Probably Facet, but I'm going to say Faucet because makes me think of plumbing. Now, you might be asking yourself, what does Faucet of Nature do? Well, it basically empowers all of your stances, and since we're going to be chilling on Dragon Stance most of the time, it increases the duration of boons applied to allies. Which, if you're giving quickness to everybody, well, that's important. Now, this is how I normally just run around the world.
I could outrun a centaur.
I have Faucet of Nature on, I have Faucet of Light on, as well as Faucet of Element on. Now, what this does is boon duration is longer, which is pretty cool, which, as you'll see as we go through these, you give a lot of boons. You have permanent swiftness, keeping this on, which everybody loves swiftness, just running around. And you give everybody around you regen. So everybody likes you. Everybody's fast, you're healing everybody, and you're giving everybody boons out like candy from the back of a van or something. Well, no, I guess people don't like those creeps. Either way, the way that these faucets work is they are 2-button clicks. Clicking on it once will activate its passive ability. Clicking on it twice will then do some damage as well as give everybody quickness. Just activating these like this does not give anybody quickness. It does give everybody swiftness. Swiftness and quickness sure sound close, but they're definitely not the same thing. But it doesn't give everybody quickness. I had to think about that for a second. It doesn't give everybody quickness until you actually activate any of them. The fun fact is all 5 of these give quickness out. So what you're going to be doing is as you are fighting enemies, you're really just stabbing. As you are fighting enemies, you activate all 5 of these and just kind of go through them. Honestly, with the higher boon duration, you can relax a little bit. Don't stress and set your keyboard on fire clicking all of them. Over here on the swords, basically it's a priority. Keep your auto attack on. Focus on 2, 4, and then 5. So, if 2 and 4 are off cooldown, do 2 first, then 4. If 4 and 5 are off cooldown, do 4 first, then 5. I understand this wasn't super detailed, but the point of this wasn't to be crazy detailed. It was just to relax, have some fun. And as always, I included a video of me playing this at a strike mission so you guys can see it in action. And there's also, I will say, a surprise in that because I filmed the strike before I filmed this. Either way, enjoy. Post down below if you got any questions, and hope you guys have fun.
Time to do some real damage.
the pack.